theyeshiva.net.
You want to know why God is always getting angry in Chumash? Yeah? That's a good question. Why is Hashem getting angry? What's charoinav? Why is Hashem getting angry? So the Rambam would tell you right away that it's euphemisms. It doesn't mean anything. What does it really mean, right? V'chora af Hashem b'chem. V'chora af Hashem b'chem. So it's also words from the Kotzka, the Hoiben of Wort. Siach Sarfei Kodesh. He brings, say for Siach Sarfei Kodesh, I think Parsha Shmois. It's very beautiful word, he says. It's good for Asayim Mitzvah, Yom Kippur. It says by Moshe, Hashem summoned him by the snet to go redeem the Jewish people from Mitzrayim. So Moshe took out every excuse. You know the excuse book that Bachim and Yeshiva have? Sure. He took out every excuse from the excuse book why he can't go. The first thing he tells Hashem is, Mi anoichi ve'benich. I'm a nobody. So God says, well, I'm sending you, that's who you are. Then he says, Lo yish dvarim anoichi, I can't even talk. God says, who made anybody talk? It's me, I'm sending you. Then he says, they're not going to believe me. He says, they are going to believe you. Finally, Shlach na b'yad tishlach, just said somebody else. And Rashi says it was a whole week that they were arguing back and forth. Yeah. So basically, you want to bring on, and Moshe, what happens at the end? Vayichar af Hashem b'Moshe. God gets angry. So basically, you learn it, you called in your son, and you told him you want him to do a bar mitzvah presentation, and he says, I'm a nobody. He said, no, you're good. I can't talk. You could talk. Nobody's going to listen. They will listen. Get somebody else to do a bar mitzvah for him. I'm not becoming 13. So all you do is you start screaming and you say, I'm disowning you. He says, okay, I'll go do it. I mean, first of all, Moshe here has to accept the mission of his life. And how does he accept it? Because God got angry. Hashem couldn't convince him. He had every excuse. Finally, in simple English, if we weren't talking about God, we would say he lost it at him. He lost it. He started to scream at him. He got angry at him. He said, just go! What is okay? So the whole shlichus was based on fright, based on pachad. You know that things that you do out of fear are very weak. Things that you only do because your father screamed the living daylights out of you. Right? Huh? Those things, they're not in fakir. The first opportunity, you're going to let it go. The whole shlichus of Moshe was based on anger. So the Kotzker Rebbe says, and this is the problem with all translations. He says we don't translate the words. We say Vayichar af Hashem b'Moshe if you want a good English translation, and the Lord's ire burnt against Moses. The Lord's wrath, better even. God's wrath burnt against Moses, which means he was burning mad at him. He says, read the words, Vayichar af Hashem b'Moshe. B'Moshe. Hashem's anger, which we'll explain in a moment, started to burn in Moshe. What does it mean his anger burns in Moshe? So he says, Moshe, he says it in 3 lines. I'm just elaborating a little, the way I understood it. Why was Moshe refusing to go? He had good reasons. He was humble. He couldn't speak. He was not a communicator. He didn't see himself as a leader. He didn't think the people... Moshe had good reasons. But the ultimate reason was something else. And that is that despite everything, the Golus Mitzrayim didn't get to him. He didn't experience it. Remember, he cared. He already beat up, he killed an Egyptian, Vayigdal Moshe. But he was in a desert. He was with God. Sem Reveng ganz good. It didn't get to him. Yeah. A mother, chas v'shalom, whose child is very, very ill, and she needs to, as we know from reality, and she needs to affect doctors and influence people in hospitals to do something for the child. She doesn't say, call, I can't communicate, I don't know how to talk, send somebody else. If it's your child, you learn how to talk. And you don't send anybody else. And you don't care if they believe in you or not believe in you. And you don't say, I'm humble. You know why? Because it's a fire. Because the passion is burning. After Hashem talking to him for a week, Moshe refused to go. Vayichar af Hashem b'Moshe. The passion of Hashem started to burn in Moshe. He communicated to Moshe his own passion, his own pain, his own agony over Golus Mitzrayim, what's happening, that Av started to burn in Moshe. Moshe started to feel about Golus the way Hashem felt about Golus. The moment that happened, he said, I'm in. And here we come back to another important idea. How do we understand Vatzeres HaShamayim? It's punitive. In other words, Al Pi Pshat, you say, let's talk about a person. You get angry at your family. You say, we were supposed to go to Chalamoy, we were supposed to go to Six Flags. Instead, not. I was supposed to get you, what do you get in 7-Eleven? Slurpees? We're not. We're supposed to go on vacation? We're not. You're supposed to have a bar mitzvah? We're canceling the bar mitzvah. And also, no breakfast, lunch, and supper for 3 days. Okay, yeah. He gets angry, he says, that's it. The show is over, the game is over. You're spoiled, you're narcissistic, you're idol worshippers, no more rain. What is this? Is it punitive? Is it vengeance? Is it revenge? Is it God showing who's the boss? You start up with me, I'll start up with you. Is it anger? Pashut, I'm angry, I lose control. So anybody understands that this is not the concept. Like we see here, every einish in Torah, really the word punishment needs to be qualified. It's the idea of helping. You have to understand all the consequences as coming from absolute love, from absolute caring, from absolute affection. Just like in education, the only real discipline that's effective is discipline that's coming from deep attachment. If I get angry at my child and I say I'm going to take revenge from this chaye, Rasha Merusha, my 12-year-old, he's driving me crazy. Go to your room for the 4 days, stay locked up there, and I'm not. That's not chinuch. Even with humans, what's chinuch is based on the idea, I want to help. And I have to deal with those emotions where I lose myself. We have those emotions of Avodah Zarah. So by the Rebbeinu Shalom, for sure, all these consequences, it's all about education, instruction, elevation. Basically is the method for the human being to become sensitive to the world and see it the way God sees it. In other words, to experience his passion about Avodah Zarah. Or if you want to put it again, on a ruchnisdika level, V'atzeres HaShamayim v'lo yiyeh matar means you're going to stop crying. You're going to lose your ability to cry. There won't be, the heaven in you will be plugged. V'lo yiyeh matar. You will lose your sensitivity, that's skilla. V'atzeres HaShamayim v'lo yiyeh matar. You will lose the heaven in you. The heaven in you will be plugged, and your own rain won't flow. Your own energy won't flow on a spiritual level. On a physical level, it's the idea of the world being shaken up by the fact that it's dysfunctional. So all these Einshim and Torah coming from Torah's Chaim and Avas Chesed, Torah's Chesed, it's never about, I'm going to get you back. It's rather about, always about cleansing, rehabilitation, healing, helping a person ultimately achieve his or her ultimate potential.